a little early normal on a Thursday because I've got a meeting at 12, and it's an all-hands company meeting where we gather once a quarter to celebrate the successes, recognize promotions, advancements of my instructors, of my staff, and people that need to be recognized for sales, for performance, etc., etc. And that's the plan. Get there, do the meeting, take a break. Maybe it's a beautiful day. I know I keep promising you a drone stream, and maybe today is the day to do it. Yesterday it turned cloudy and then it rained a little bit in the afternoon, you know. So Dusty, good morning, and how are you today? It's warm. It's 51 degrees out here. It's warm. Yesterday was hot. It was like 70 yesterday. And yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit overdressed, although it will get cooler later on by this afternoon, probably around 40s. I woke up this morning, it was 45. According to the weather station thing, you know. On lunch right now, I already put down 14 yards of concrete, holy cow, on the ground, and I'm still local and there's less traffic. One second, let me finish reading that comment. Dusty, thank you. And we're ready to start to strip the forms. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Man, you know what? I've been thinking about one of the concrete slabs in my driveway is crooked. It's like facing downwards because I think just erosion and water getting underneath it. And yeah, so when my thoughts are to either see about having someone to replace the old pad or lift it. And I'm thinking I just want to lift it. It would be less work to have to do something like that, I think. But I don't know anything about that. I think there's a plumbing, or what do you call it? Not plumbing, but foundation repair company that does stuff like that, where they lift the concrete and stuff like that. How long that lasts, I don't know. You know, chances are that I'll be out of that house by the time it starts to deteriorate again and requires another another lift. But to be determined, because I've not decided one way or another to do that. For one, I got to fix the drainage problem there as well, because, and maybe that's what's caused it, because it doesn't have very good drainage. It just pools the water, you know, making it all soft and soggy. And that heavy concrete slab, it's just, you know, sinking. So to be determined. But teamwork is what I'm talking about here, because, you know, we're going to be celebrating the team at work here shortly. And then I've got my SeaTac Source kids, which effectively they are a team of young flyers as well. And where does teamwork occur elsewhere in our lives? You know, clearly it's at work. You know, I mean, when you go to work, you're working as a team. Dusty, obviously, you work with a team. Everybody has their tasks, has their jobs. They know what you need to do or what needs to get done without being told what to do. Sometimes we tell people what to do to reinforce what needs to be done, but if we couldn't talk and we knew our tasks, could the job get done? Just by looking around and seeing what needs to be done. I mean, we have some guests at the house this morning, right? My wife's teleworking, and so they're taking care of business and doing some stuff, and she cooked breakfast, right? And I had the leftovers of what she had cooked. And when I was finished eating, I did the dishes, right? And that's how we roll typically, you know? That's how we usually do things at our home. Good morning. I can't, Mommy Lou rule. Thanks for hanging, you know? Let's see here. DJ Eva, thank you for hanging out. Oh, we got glitches here. Right on, I hear you. I was at a golf course yesterday and said to race placing the sidewalk pieces where roots push it up. I just go over there with a grinder and grind it and make a ramp. Oh, that's a good idea. Good morning, whatever. Indeed. But Samar Girl, New York City, good morning. Breakfast with Kiss Jammy. Yes. My wife cooks a great breakfast, that's for sure. She made a frittata this morning, eggs and vegetables and such. And so, of course, without saying, without her telling me what to do, I did the dishes, right? Because she's taking care of business, and instead of letting the dishes pile up, I just did her dishes. I did everybody's dishes, and there he said thank you, and I said, you know what, teamwork, right? It's a team effort, because there's a mental aspect to the dishes as well, just from a standpoint. Oh, there's a truck on the curb here. All right. Yeah, there was I just did the dishes, and I yelled out teamwork, right? It's a team effort. Oh, and I yelled out team effort. Even though we weren't necessarily a team, my wife and I are a team. And I know that, if you will, if she cooks, then I'm cooking, then I'm cleaning, or vice versa. All right, if I'm buying dinner, then she does clean up. If we get takeout or something like that. But it's kind of like just the roles. Where your place is, what needs to be done in order to have good order and discipline in whatever environment you're in, be it work, be it home, right? At work, if I were to go away, the team would still function. They would know what their tasks are. They have their daily operations, and they'll get it done. Because it's all about big picture. What's the mission, all right? And each business, of course, has a mission. Number one mission from a business perspective, basic, is to make money. And in our case at I Fly Virginia Beach, the mission is, it used to be to deliver the dream of flight in a first-class manner every day. Now it has changed to, and that's been ingrained in my head. I like it so much that it's kind of the secondary order of effects to accomplishing our mission, delivering it in a first-class manner. And apologies, I appreciate you guys chatting with me. I'm focused on the drive right now, but chat amongst each other, talk to each other. Input as you see fit, when we talk about teamwork. But at work, it's one of those things where it's a given, yet it needs to be stated sometimes, and for us to be reminded of it. And how does one be a good teammate? By being a good teammate first, by offering yourself up to do the tough jobs, right? To do the jobs that suck, and people recognize that and say, hey, that's a good teammate, that's a dependable person. And when you have that type of work ethic, number one, it'll show, without you even having to say it. It's like, who did that? You don't even have to, oh, I did that. Some people will, hey, he did that, she did that, right? They did that, whatever. And so it may even go unrecognized, but that's okay, because we're fulfilling the big picture of what the team is all about, fulfilling the mission, which the mission currently is to gather people through the dream of flight. And through the act of gathering people, there's a camaraderie that exists. Even though individuals come to I Fly Virginia Beach to sit in the wind tunnel and fly and do their experience alone, where they're sitting on the bench together as a class, that class is effectively a team, right? That class is a team, and as people, as humans, we do our best to boost each other up, and that could just be applauding, applesaucing, right? You're applesaucing for all the people that did a good job, even if they did a bad job, you're applesaucing for everybody, right? And at minimum, it gives them a smile on their face, and it's like, man, I messed up, but I'm gonna do better next time, the next time I get in, the second time. They're a team, and just in that manner, we can all be good teammates to strangers just by giving a smile, I think, and that's I think the bigger picture of it all, boosting each other up. Use people here with me, right? Use people, right? Applesauce, never heard. Yeah, excuse me, applause. Applauding. So the idea is, first and foremost, to be to have a good team. each individual must be a good teammate themselves. And sometimes that goes above and beyond that of which is required for the big picture mission. All right. And so, depending on whatever that is, you know, in that particular instance, two people is a team. All right, two people are a team. Warren, good morning. Thanks for hanging out. I'm just catching up with the chat now, and I've got some. I still have some traffic. But yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about teamwork because, yeah, it was something, a simple phrase that I said this morning as in response to one of my wife's coworkers saying, "Hey, I was supposed to do that. I was already doing the dishes," because his role, he said, was I was going to do cleanup since my wife cooked. Right, and I had gotten to it first, and he's like, "That's my job." I was like, "Team effort, right? You guys have more important things to do anyway, like take care of your business, you know." And if it's kind of like when you see, like at iFly, for example, another idea is, you know, I will pick up earplugs on the floor. Is that my job? No, but why is the GM picking up the earplugs on the floor? Shouldn't, you know, the janitors be doing that at the end of the night? Well, we want the place to look like a first-class place, and so if there is trash on the ground, I'm picking it up. You know, I'm putting it away where it belongs. Which leads into, you know, leadership by example. You know, when you show that you're doing the dirty work also as a leader, you know, as the guy that doesn't have to do that, you know, people may follow suit and do it also. Hey, if he's doing it, I should do that too. And or he shouldn't be doing that, I should be doing that. You know, which is kind of like what I tell, you know, my boss, you know, hey, that's not for you to worry about. That's for me to worry about. You take care of the bigger picture things, the strategic, the higher level things that, you know, I don't want to deal with or talk to or research or perform. You know, teamwork. Everybody knows their place. Now everybody knows what they're supposed to do. If you by yourself, you are a team in itself, you know. And I said this before with respect to leadership also. If anything, you're a leader of one, and that is yourself. You're making the decisions for your behalf. You know, you are a team of one, right? The army of one, like the army. A soldier is an army of one. At a minimum, that's the basic building blocks of it all, because we as an individual, we have a mission. We have our own personal mission, right? Which goes back to the idea of the why. You know, I talked a little bit about that yesterday also. And so, yeah, what is your why? You know, Stephen Wire, you know, you commented before that you're searching for it, and I wonder if you've picked up that book yet. And a lot of things leads back to why we do things, which in effect are effectively, which are the real building blocks of our personal core values. Have you established what your personal core values are? You know, interesting to say the least. I'm going to do a quick run up of the chat when I park. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go inside to take care of my business of recognizing my teammates who have been promoted, printing up certificates primarily, of course, you know, for example, and going through what is going to be presented today. But, you know, how will you be a good teammate today? How are you a good teammate at work, with your family, with your friends, be it playing, you know, Fortnite or PUBG if you're on Cool Cat, or Call of Duty, Ray? You know, your video games. Are you a good teammate? You kind of have your place where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go out and be the medic in this game. I'm gonna go and be the guy that is the sniper or whatever in the game, etc., etc. So it turns into one of those things where, you know, what's happening is you're figuring it out, you know, and hopefully you do have hopefully you have good teammates that you work with, you know. Hopefully you have, and if they're not good teammates, guess what? You could turn them into good teammates by being a good teammate yourself. I wholeheartedly believe that. Of course, people are just, you know, poisonous and you can tell that they will not change, in which case that teammate can, in our case, we'll fire them in a heartbeat. We'll get rid of them, and we won't even let them back in the building, especially if they are a poisonous person. Because my team doesn't want that, and that's my way of protecting my team from poison. All right, let's take a look at the chat here. Let's see. All right, where did I leave off? Applesauce. Okay. Diamond blade. All right. See. All right. Diamond blade grinder. Even small handheld mode may take you a little bit further. That was cool. You guys saluted me, so I saluted him back. That's awesome. One may take you a little bit longer. The one we have is a 5-inch round diamond that you can buy at Home Depot. Nice. Right on. Yeah, that's the way. I actually did that with part of my pool deck. It was just raised just slightly, and I shaved a little bit off to ramp it. Not exactly even, but it's ramped, so it's not a hard edge. It's angled. So that's a good call on that, Dusty, for sure. Then when you can buy Home Depot, it's like 3 inches, and it's just screws on the end of the grinder. I think, yeah, I use a 3-inch grinder for that job. I don't have a need for, on a regular basis, for a 5-inch grinder. That's how it works. Some couples only one does most. Yes. And you know what? Sometimes that's just the way, and that's okay. I mean, my mom always did the dishes. My dad, and she cooked. My dad would sometimes do the dishes, you know, and but he would cook also sometimes. It's the dynamic that you establish between you and your teammate, yeah? And you and your teammates will figure that out. I really hope you'll be able to get to the meetup April 5th. I am not going to the meetup, Dusty, in Florida, because my son has a rugby tournament that weekend. As of now. Who knows? If he gets injured, he may not, right? Applesauce, yes. Do Wrong Tuan TV. Hello and good morning. Thank you for promoting your channel. Yeah, feel free to take a look and promote your channels and your videos, the latest video as you see fit. Warren, afternoon almost, brother. Rain in game 707. More can be accomplished when nobody cares who gets the credit. Yeah, you know, I mean, that's a great thing about the military. Everybody gets paid the same, so to speak, in which case, you know, everybody just gets the job done. I was thinking about that this morning also, actually. Why do we perform so well in the military? We don't care what, you know, we all get paid the same. We all work the same hours. If we're all there late, then we're all there late, you know. And that leads to something else that Blue Angel had talked about the other day. And maybe I'll talk about that later on. That I was listening to. I was part of a panel that helped him make his speech better, his motivational speech better, which was pretty cool. I was honored to be a part of that team. You know, I think I'm suffering Maggie withdrawal. I know, right? Me too. But that's okay. These things happen. Happy Ibanez, thank you for joining. Mega shout out to you as well. All right. Every day's a struggle indeed. And it's a good struggle to have, I think, sometimes, right? Take the air out of the tires. Here we go in the parking garage. Yeah, right? Not in this parking garage. I don't need to do that. You know, it's high enough. And I park on the first floor, so it's still pretty high here on the first floor as well. Alex, my job as a professional project manager is to build strong IT teams. And you know what, man? I'm sure you have a great, and that you have a really strong IT team, Alex, because you as a person are a strong and a very good leader. And so I'm not surprised to hear you say that, my friend. Many IT guys are individuals and introverts. It takes a lot of effort. Indeed, a lot of engineers are as well, you know, and at a minimum, they recognize that one should recognize that it's a team effort at the same time, you know. I have to do it at the golf courses because you don't want the old people walking around the fall and sue the golf course, right? For real, for real. But everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning on this quick drive stream into the office. You know, teamwork, you know, what do they say? Teamwork makes the dream work. You know, accomplishes the mission, is essential to any organization that wants to fulfill their mission, is, you know, a basic building block of just getting things done, because it's not just about the teams that you work for or your home, but it's you as an individual. You know, how first and foremost are you a good team player? And that starts, how do we make a team? How do we make a good team? It starts off with good individuals. Good individuals. Because I've hired people that say the right things, and they turn out to be the shittiest teammates ever, you know. In training, one of our flight instructors, we were called, or no, one of our flight instructors, one of our instructors, leave you with this. He's like, he looked at us, he goes, "Hey, you Smurfs," he called the really short boat crew Smurfs. He goes, "You Smurfs are like, there's only 5 of you." And we looked around like, yeah, no shit, no, you can count, Instructor B, And he goes, "You guys are like you guys are like a 5-man boat crew, you Smurfs. There's 5 of you. You guys are like, a hand, Actually, you guys are pretty strong. So you guys are like a fist, And a fist, when it's, tight and it's strong, it can destroy things, right? But of course, and he said it, he told the whole story behind it. But you guys are like a fist, strong when it's tight, flexible, get things done, right? But of course, you never know, because there can always be that one person that fucks things up. Something like that, You guys are like a fist, but there's always that one guy that fucks things up. So with that, have a great day, everyone. I'll see you on a drone stream if I can get on the roof and fly later on this afternoon. All right, bye, YouTube.